Konnichiwa, Aibowan, and hello. I am Dharshan. I am Japanese, I am Sri Lankan, I am fusion. I've hungered and I've eaten my way to make Nihonbashi what it is. Today, join my journeys in Sri Lanka and Japan as I choose ingredients or simply enjoy food, for I am what I eat. Cook with me as I show you the magical ingredient in any dish you cook is you. Japan, land of the rising sun, place where I was born, went through a really bad time in March this year. A huge earthquake and the resulting tsunami devastated the north. We are back in Tokyo and the place is buzzing again. The inner strength of the Japanese people are combined and they're standing again tall, and I hope this happens for some time. Japan needs all the support and we are here filming the second season of our show in support of Japan. It's summer in Japan. It's really hot. It's hotter than Colombo. It's 34 degrees. The humidity and the buildings is like horrible. But there's an amazing change of the food that we eat in Japan during summer. Ramen noodles become hiyashichuka and served cold. There's one dish that exemplifies the changes of the season from spring to summer. Unagi. When I'm in Tokyo, I visit Tsukiji daily, and sometimes I tag along with Otani-san, an 8th generation unagi restaurant owner. Despite my grey hairs, we are around the same age. We both run fantastic restaurants in our respective countries, but his is legendary. He shoulders the legacy of Jubako, a restaurant with its humble beginnings going back 220 years to 1790. Otani-san's day starts at Tsukiji. He comes here every day to buy a few ingredients required for his course menus. More importantly, he's not here for the unagi onsen. Tsukiji is a chef's paradise. Apart from the best seafood of the world available by the ton, Tsukiji also has so many small shops catering to people like us, restaurant owners. One of the first stops Otani-san makes is to grab some fresh wasabi, the real stuff that takes years to grow.
真っ青なのがいい。で、そういうわさびは香りが強くあって粘りがあって甘みもあると。そういうわさびがいいので。
The relationship Otani-san has with dealers in Tsukiji also transcends generations. The shop talk is not sounding like a sales pitch, but almost family-like. And each dealer specializes in one kind of ingredient. Their knowledge exceeds ours, as we deal with more. As restaurant owners, we do rely on these experiences of each vendor. Today, he's looking for some seasonal delicacies and thinking the menu as we walk. Something similar to what I do when I'm in Negambo. The first minute of conversation at each vendor is like, what's good today? Is that possible? It baffles me that within these great ingredients, there are extra super premium stuff. I asked Otani-san, when do you decide what to buy and how to cook it?
ちょっともったいないぐらいいいんですよ、この味は。作ってるっていう出し方してます。
小田さん、メニューってどこで考えるの？ここに来た後？
ここに来てお店の人にいいのが入ってますかっていうのを聞いて、でいいのが入ってたらそれに合う料理の仕方。
He's doing all this just for the appetizers of the dinner. After all, his restaurant is an unagi restaurant, so there are 2 unagi dishes that will take the center stage of the dinner. But all this effort coming every morning is for the appetizers. Otani-san does not buy unagi from Tsukiji. He buys them directly from farmers in Shizuoka. But we venture out to see some amazing unagi in Tsukiji. We snaked around Tsukiji looking for an unagi dealer who would let us film. And trust me, this was really hard to do. Unagi is one fish that has a dedicated knife for cutting. The fluid and smooth motion in cutting ensures a good yield and the delicate textures intact. Unagi is cultivated in many countries in the world today, but the best one still comes from Japan. Unagi is available at sushi restaurants and on the street side in Tokyo. Unagi is a very, very special dish. And not many people can cut it, not many people can skewer it, not many people can cook it right. This time we are going to a really special unagi restaurant. He's done for the day. It's 8 in the morning and he's going to head out to his restaurant. I'm going to go and tag along and see what he prepares. He has a lunch service and a dinner service, but I'm going to enjoy a nice dinner there. Okay. Go.
Tokyo, a city with many mini-cities within, built upwards, downwards, on every possible square foot available. You feel busy just standing at a street corner when compared to the slow life in Sri Lanka. And in this busy bee society, it's amazing to find a place where time has stood still, taking back anyone who enters to the charms and spaces of a bygone era. Jubako is in the middle of Akasaka. Akasaka is known for its high-end Japanese restaurants called ryotes, a restaurant genre not known to many in the West, but plays a pivotal role in the Japanese version of a degustation menu. The walls of Jubako adorns many memorabilia over so many decades. An old woodblock print of the unagi trade, dating back over 100 years, is an amazing testimony to Jubako's legacy. The artist had pictured the moment, and in it, you see an unagi basket with Jubako's name on it. This restaurant has only 6 private rooms and no walk-in guests. You can only enter by reservation, and this is not a concept. It's a tradition. Over time, over decades. Each room has a view to an amazing garden. The tranquility that surrounds you makes you forget time and place. The setting is almost an oasis in Tokyo, where it's almost impossible to find a place this soothing to your soul.
いや難しいですね。これは本当に今の日本でタイムスリップを実現させるっていうのは、もう東京の赤坂という場所で実現させるには本当に難しいところがあります。例えばうなぎを生かすための井戸もコンクリートの多いところでは井戸は湧いてこないんですね。やっぱり雨がたくさん土に降って染み込んだお水でないと井戸っていうのは湧かないんですね。その井戸を維持するのも難しいですし、あとはビルがたくさん建っている中でこのような緑の木々を生かすっていうのも日当たりの問題で非常に難しくなっています。
Otani-san's father and mother still hold fort for this legendary restaurant and have been the face, the voice, the taste of Jubako before Otani-san was handed down the mantle.
Now I do want to introduce Japanese culture, Japanese food, Japanese cuisine into the world. So I need you.
Unagi cutting is amazing to watch. The knife used in cutting unagi is unique in shape and takes decades to perfect this art of cutting.
The eel was cut from the top along its back, and it opens up from its stomach. So the soft part in the front of the eel has a little bit of cavity. That's where the stomach comes in. The next step is to put the skewers in there. They're going to put 7 skewers on the tail section of the eel, and on the front 6, a total of 13 skewers.
The skewered unagi is steamed first, and the bouncy texture is perfected by adjusting the steaming time by checking by touch and feel. The last step in making kabayaki is grilling, and here it's grilled on binchotan charcoal, known in English as white charcoal. The sauce or tare the unagi is dipped in is as old as his restaurant. It has come over generations and generations, and people like Otani-san, his family, his restaurant, preserve and continue the age-old traditions of Japanese cuisine, and in his case, the delicacy of unagi. The moving of unagi around the grill is to find the best heat required at different stages of cooking. The coal is moved around to control the heat and depends on how many unagi he is making. Each move is like a game of chess, but calculated so that one eel stays together and not get mixed up. Jubako and the Otani family has had numerous requests from TV stations in Japan to allow them to film, but they never said yes. We are actually the first ever TV crew to enter Jubako. My friendship with Otani-san spans 2 countries, and I am so proud to be able to be the first to present Jubako to the world.
This box is made for 2 people so that they can serve from either side. The one on this side, the front of the eel is on the left and the back on the right. And on the other side, it's the opposite from this point of view. So you get the same exact left and right orientation of the eel. ありがとうございます。
そうですね、朝貸してくれた味が、お寿司に美しい
夏の風景。
そうですね、持ってみました。これでお醤油つけてはい食べてください。ありがとうございます。
This is a sushi made out of the trevally that he got in the morning while we were in Tsukiji. I'm amazed on the simplicity of this dish. It's just a sushi, but look how simple it is. The presentation is soothing. Green leaves, both plates are chilled so that they keep the sushi at the right temperature. The presentation, the taste, the texture of this fish reminds me of summer. Japan's 4 seasons play a huge role on what you eat, an amazing feature in the culinary calendar of the world. Simply amazing.
いらっしゃいませ。
お世話になります。いつも美味しいものいただきます。
いえ、こちらこそありがとうございます。こちらうなぎの肝焼きでございます。
ありがとうございます。
お好みで
はい
最初、
はい
こちらお付けくださいませ。
はいありがとうございます。
どうぞごゆっくり。
This is a major delicacy. It can only be done if the unagi was killed here. So other restaurants that buy slaughtered unagi or cleaned unagi from Tsukiji, they cannot do this. It's the intestines and the organs of the unagi. I'm going to put a little bit of sansho. Sansho is a powder from a dried fruit, very small. It's very aromatic and its freshness defined by its color. This is definitely a treat. Saraki.
はい、わさび醤油。
これ今日買ってきたわさ
そうですね、先ほど選んできたわさびです。
び。このうなぎどのぐらい小さいんだ。
小さいうなぎになります。はい、白焼き用のうなぎっていうのを育ててもらって、
別に。
別に、
へー
はい、白焼き用のうなぎの大きさです。
小さい方がちょっと甘くなったりとかなるんですか。
そうですね、小さい分あっさりした食感で、わさび醤油で食べてもらえればと思います。
わかりました。
はい、どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
はい。
This is unagi shirayaki. It's a simple dish, very simple. You just take an eel, cut it open, and you put skewers through it, and you grill it. This unagi, specially made for this dish from the farms that Otani-san buys the unagi from. Although I said it's simply just cut open and grilled, that art and timing are crucial. Like sashimi, all that you have here is soy sauce and wasabi. And it's wasabi bought together in Tsukiji. So let me try some. The rich flavors of an eel is coming out. soy sauce and wasabi. The main two dishes in unagi restaurants, and especially at Jubako, shirayaki and kabayaki. Other dishes are simply season-based. Otani-san, like he said in the morning, that he would go and see and talk to the vendors and see what's there, what's good today, and then decide what else to serve with these two dishes. Just touching this box, you touch ancestry, culture, history. This is a Jubako, and the restaurant here is called Jubako. And in Japan and anywhere in the world, you'd see unagis being served in a box of this nature with a bed of rice and unagi on top. But here the rice is served separately. You have a plate, an empty plate to serve the unagi onto. And I asked Otani-san as to why it's only unagi in this box. And he told me that traditionally, Jubako is a box that you would put your treasures, your jewelry, things that are important to you. And it is kind of disrespectful to use it as a lunchbox and eat off it. So whole of Japan got it wrong, I guess. And this place gives so much respect to this wonderful dish. I witnessed this unagi being cooked, and you wouldn't believe how soft it is. The best unagi I've ever had in my life is from this restaurant. And it's ultra super soft. I'm just going to eat one piece first, just the unagi. Wow. You feel the crusted texture on top. The skin so soft, almost melts like perforated butter. I wouldn't say total butter, perforated butter. And the rice, I've seen the kitchen and they have a whiteboard marking the times as to when to cook the rice, which table. They're like little shiny pearls. Every time I come to Tokyo now, it has a new meaning. I pencil a schedule to come to Jubako for dinner. It's like a pilgrimage. And I'm fortunate enough to have met Otani-san, 8th generation restaurant owner of this beautiful, beautiful place.
That morning in Tsukiji, when you're walking around, he bought aji because it was in season, and he found some from a really amazing place in Japan. Aji is parao, but there are so many kinds of parao, even in Sri Lanka. We have katta, which is, no one eats it, but only to make karola. We have len parao, we have sura parao, and this one, what he chose was ginnati parao, and that's what we are going to use. The dish we are making today is sakana fry. And that's a Japanese word. Sakana is fish, furai is fry, and it's a universally available dish. But what makes fish fried in Japan different, A is you fry it on species. Like you wouldn't fry tuna, you wouldn't fry fugu with breadcrumbs. And one more thing different that we are doing here is we are not using dry breadcrumbs. We're going to use fresh breadcrumbs. I remember from my childhood days, you see a lot of bread being dried out in the sun to make dry breadcrumbs for patties and Chinese rolls, etc. And then you just keep a lot in a jar locked away. But this is more economical because you can make what you need. So I got 6 slices of bread here. I'm going to cut the edges out. Again, a sharp knife must. So we are going to make really fluffy breadcrumbs. Quarter them. So you get like this postage stamp size pieces. When using the blender to make breadcrumbs, use the pulse button because you get the big pieces getting stuck. So pulse it a few times, take it out, shake it, pulse it a few times, repeat it until everything's fluffy. Really, really light, fluffy like snow breadcrumbs. Get your kids to make it. Get them involved and make them the best filet-o-fish sandwich they could have. Just going to heat up the oil, that's required to fry this. We need oil at a decent temperature to fry, so I'm doing that first. Be just about an inch. From here onwards, it's like the normal way of doing fried fish. 1 egg. Beat it up gently. I'm going to use a flat plate so that's easy to coat the fish with this. There we go. One side of the fish. Then next step, egg, dip, dip. This fish was really fresh, and we're coating with really fluffy panko. When you use really fresh fish, you don't have to fry it for long, maybe 4 minutes in here. And over here, I got some chopped onion, some gherkin, egg yolk, and egg white. So you know what I'm making here, a simple tartar sauce. I'm going to put all this into a homemade mayo. This mayonnaise is made at Nihonbashi. You can buy some if it's really hard to make. It takes a lot of work. Just give it a gentle stir. Here we go. Let that sit for a while. And dollops of tartar sauce. If you want, you can make smaller pieces and use this as a dip, serve at parties, but this is an amazing main course to have. And it's simple, fresh, and tasty. Homemade fish fingers, but natural, fresh, and much tasty. No dehydration from freezing. And it's really soft inside.